Hi guys, welcome back to this week's video. I'm so excited to leave my brother and nagging him behind in the last video and move on to something a little bit more interesting on my end because I'm here with a Sprenger representative, Deike, and we are going to be learning today how to fit the perfect bit for your horse. Now this is something that I've been meaning to do with my new horse Emporio for a while now. I've been riding in the same bit that Joao was riding with in Portugal, it's kind of served me well so far, but I'm curious to know if there is a better option out there for me. And so today we're going to hopefully find something that is more suitable for Emporio at this current stage. I'm really excited for you to meet Emporio firstly. So I think, what do you think is the first thing you're going to have to do?
I think we gotta go get the horse and get to know him and look how the mouth looks.
Yeah, because I think every horse obviously has a bit of a different mouth.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna have to first examine him and see what we're dealing with, and then from there we can maybe assess what the bit looks like that we have now and what potentially could be the new bit for him.
Yeah.
So maybe that sounds like a plan. I can grab him. I've got his halter just back there. So if you don't mind, if you want to just wait here, I'll grab him and then I'll be back in 1 minute.
All right, see you in 1 minute.
Yes. Today's client here. This is Emporio.
Hi.
He's very dirty. He's every shade of what the colors he shouldn't be. Because he was out of the field having fun without a rug. But he's so I just got him quite recently, and he's a 4-year-old Pyrenees stallion, and he's just coming into. He got broken in last year. I hate that word. So they started working him last year, and he's in light work now because he's had a bit of an injury on this leg. That he's recovering. He had an inflammation in the joint, so nothing too serious, but we're just taking our time bringing him back into the work.
I'm gonna try how he likes to be watched in the mouth. Sweetie. You always, when you put the lips away and you have a look in the mouth, what do you see?
A tongue.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear, because you never know when you ride a horse you don't have a look in the mouth, but if you look inside it you can see how much space the tongue needs.
Yes.
And this one is not a really thick one.
Oh no, I thought it was.
No, it's not.
But I haven't seen many tongues in my days. So.
Yeah, I've seen a few, and this one is just a normal one.
Okay.
But what you can also see is that the mouth is very short.
Yes.
Compared to other ones, and that the corner of the mouth is like a normal one. You can have really fleshy ones or really small ones, but this is kind of normal, which is good.
Okay.
And especially if you want to fit a bit.
Okay.
So what you always try is to find out the correct size of the bit you need, because if you have the correct size bit, you can easier communicate with the horse. It's comparable with shoes.
Yes.
Like, as a woman, I like to buy shoes that are nice.
Yes.
And then I buy them, and then I see, oh no, they are just a little too short and too small, but I still buy them.
Yeah, because they look good.
And then you never wear them. But if you buy a bit for the horse that is too small, the horse can't do anything about it.
Yes.
So
no, definitely.
You gotta make sure it fits perfectly.
Yes.
So, and when it comes to the correct bit size, you always need to take into account the length, the width of the bit, and the thickness.
Yes.
Because as you can see, there's not much space in the mouth, and you always need to check the distance between the lower and the upper jaw, and which is an average around 3.5 centimeters.
Okay.
And average tongue is between 2 and 2.5 centimeters.
Okay,
so
I understand.
That's not much space left for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we don't want anything too invasive, it just needs to sit comfortably in the mouth. Just
put your fingers where the bit lies inside the mouth and put the tongue away. And then the horse starts to chew. and when the front teeth are closed, you can feel pressure on the fingers. But I have 2 fingers and there's no pressure, so that's a good sign.
Okay, thank God for that. You don't hear that often with horses. Normal and easy, but I'm glad to hear it now. Okay, maybe I'll put him in here then, and then we can have a look at the bit I have.
Yeah.
Come, buddy. You can just chill. We had a little bit of a misunderstanding from my end, and maybe you could explain why.
Yeah, maybe we just explain why it is important to know how to measure a bit. Because Matt asked me to bring a few bits to fit, and I asked him for the size, and he said, okay, I have measured it and it's 16.5. So I took one and took smaller ones because I guessed it was too big. And here you can see the difference between Matt's bit size, which fitted, and the 16.5, which is for a cold-blooded horse.
Yes,
and
not quite my horse.
Just a little explanation how to measure a bit. You just lay it down smooth and straight, and then you measure the inside of the bit. So this is a 12.5 bit, and you just measure it from this part to this part. And if you measure a loose ring bit, you just go from the inside of the ring to the inside of the ring. So this bit would be a 13.5.
So now I see that we have a bit of a range of bits that you've picked out that you think could be interesting for not only myself but for the regular horse as well. So maybe we can you can talk me through the models and what we're looking at here.
Okay, so maybe we just start with the bit Matt uses, which is a single jointed egg butt bit, but a normal style. If you compare it to this bit, for instance, you can see that the middle part is different. And you can see the eyes of the joint pointing up straight, and here you have the twisted middle part. And this is good because you have one side longer than the other one, and you have more power and effect on this side than on this side. And this is not what we want, because we want to be even on both tongue sides. And we have the Tornado or dynamic RS bits, where you still have one longer and one shorter part, but because the joint in the middle is angled forward, you have both sides of the bit lying on the tongue up into the middle, so you can have even distribution of pressure on both tongue sides.
Okay, perfect. So that's the difference with your single
Yes.
joints.
Correct. And then I would like to talk about our KK Ultra bit, because this is a loose ring double jointed bit. We also have pointed forward the middle link by 45 degrees, which is because of anatomical reasons, just to make the eyes of the joint not press into the palate or into the tongue. And we have a rounded part lying smoothly on the tongue. This is a bit you can use on every horse, on a horse that is just being ridden the first time, up to a horse that is being ridden in Grand Prix dressage or jumping. This is just an all-round bit. Based on the KK Ultra bit, we have developed the so-called dynamic RS bits, and as you can see, you have a shape that is, maybe I just turn around, otherwise you just see my fingers. The shape is anatomically and ergonomically shaped because it lies perfectly between the tongue and the palate. So this is a bit that is suitable for sensitive horses and for horses with not much space and thick tongues, because it goes over the tongue and leaves enough space, and it has no edges, it is smooth and rounded and is comfortable for the horse.
Okay. And so out of these bits that we've seen, what would you think is going to be our preferred pick? Also based on seeing his mouth, based on seeing his previous bit, what do you think we're going to be trying on Emporio today?
Okay, since we now know Emporio has a normal mouth, there's nothing we have to really face, so we can just use just a normal bit. So what we do is not to change too much, because you say he's comfortable and he's doing good on the bit, so we don't change too much at one time. We stay with the fixed cheeks with an egg butt bit, but you said you would prefer trying a double jointed one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we just try the ergonomically shaped one, because it is the egg butt version, and it is really fitted to meet the needs of the horse.
Okay, perfect. So, that'll be our best candidate going into this for now. Okay, perfect. And I like that all the bits that we have here are quite simple, and you made a really good point before of saying that bits aren't to fix training problems or to force anything. The bits should be fitted to be the most comfortable and suitable for the horse and for the rider to give the right aids. There's no
communication.
Fixing, there's no fixing things with bits. It's just making sure your horse is the most comfortable, because every horse has a different mouth.
Correct.
So I think that's a really good point to keep in mind for everybody out there, that it's not so much as a training tool, it's just a way of communicating in a comfortable way as well.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that's what we always have in mind when we invent and develop new bits, because we want it good for the horse and easy for the rider to communicate.
So we are going to take this one then. We will fit it to my bridle and we will see how it goes on Emporio. Okay, so this is the current bridle I have for him. It's just a simple standard kind of bridle. And this is the bit I'm using on him now. I'm a little bit ashamed to show you because it's quite dirty and it's a little bit old. But this is what we're dealing with right now.
So this looks like an old-fashioned bit, because it is really thick and it is worn out already, as you can see in here. So when you have an egg butt bit, you always want to make sure that there's a smooth transition between the mouthpiece and the cheek piece. Because on sensitive horses you can get problems if there is a distance between.
Oh yes, I knew it wasn't like the newest best bit, but I also didn't feel any problems with Emporio, so I was like, if it's not broken, then don't fix it. Kind of idea. But I'm glad that now we get to take the time to really find something that's optimal for him, not just good.
Maybe just put on the bridle and then have a look how it fits.
This is like the real test now, because I was like, no, but it fits fine, it's just a little old. So hopefully it actually fits.
But at least you always have the indicator as the horse. If the horse is happy, there's not too much wrong with it.
And for now I think he's been kind of happy.
Yeah, I think it's better to just mount it like usual to see the fitting, because it makes a difference if the bit is just loose or if the bridle is closed and ready to go. Okay, the size looks perfect, because on egg butt ring bits and all bits with the cheek parts fixed to the mouthpiece, you want them to fit closely to the corner of the mouth. So this looks really good. Well done, Matt.
Okay, good. Thank you for that.
Okay, what I would do is you always have to take in mind that the bit always works together in combination with the bridle and the cave sound.
Yes.
So maybe this is another interesting thing to explain, because you always have to take care that the cheekbones, these are very flat, you can have really edgy and thick ones, and you don't want any part of the bridle on this. So you always need to make sure that it's behind this bone.
Yes.
Which is really good on this side, and it's good on both sides.
It's a bit lower, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say that the cave sun could be just a little bit higher, have too much space, but Yeah, I think it would make sense to try a bit that is adapted to the anatomy of the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
To make him feel just a little more comfortable.
And that's what I've always loved about Sprenger, because I've been using Sprenger bits for years now. And it's the way that it is built for the mouth, and,
Yes,
it is in the shape of like you're avoiding as many pressure points as possible. We can try and fit that bit on there. But as you guys can see, there's a bit of a like color difference. But I always said these bits from Sprenger are like almost like art pieces. Like when you get them, they're just so shiny and beautiful, and you almost don't want to put it in a horse's mouth. Thank you. I wonder how it's gonna fit. Oh my god, it's so shiny. Boy. I have a feeling we might have to go up a little based off of my inexperienced opinion.
Yeah, I think it's difference between the right and the left side, so maybe just...
Having a look at the bit now that it's in, what are you thinking?
So this looks very good from the sides because it's close to the corner and there's no pressure anywhere. So the size is perfect. And then you just check the distance between the bit and the teeth, which is also good. And as you can see, we have lifted the caisson up a little, so we have a little more space between the bit and the caisson.
Yes.
Which looks really good. And he's already starting to chew, so
yes.
He seems to like it.
Yes. And you would be happy with the height of the bit? You wouldn't go any higher at all?
Okay, I would maybe go a little higher, because if you take up the rein, you can see that this is very loose and this is too low.
Yes.
So you always check that with just a little rein, taking the rein, and then you can see this is too loose.
So I'm going to try and summarize what I just learned. Also, if I get anything wrong, tell me, because then I can learn a little bit better myself. So I'll move to this side. So I can see that it's fitting well now. First reason was because when we put the bridle on, I didn't struggle to get the bridle behind the ears, which tells me that the bit's not on too tight. Now if I was to take the rein, I can see that I don't have too much slack in the cheek piece holding the bit. And then by moving the noseband up a little bit, we have freed up the area between the noseband and the bit as well. And we can see also that he's quite comfortable in the mouth, although he is playing, he's young and a stallion, so it's normal that he's got a bit more of an active mouth. It is sitting comfortably in his mouth, and until the point that we had lifted it up a little, we could see that with this time he was trying to bring it back up, but now I think all he's doing is chewing a little bit, but for the rest it looks really comfortable.
Not too tight, and it allows the horse to chew, which is very important to have a relaxed and happy horse while riding.
No, exactly.
So now it is to you to ride him.
Yeah, to have a feel of this is
a bit.
Because we have gone and done some differences now with this bit is a little bit thinner and it's double jointed as well, so it is going to take some time also for him to get used to it. And so how long do you recommend that I ride him with this bit before I can really say yes it works well or yes it doesn't? Oh, or no it doesn't? I
would recommend to ride him with a new bit around 1 week, 5 to 7 days maybe, because 2 days is always a little short. The horse has to get used to it, to the new shape, the new bit. And you should at least try it for 5 or more days.
Okay. Okay, I understand. That sounds very good. Thank you so much. Okay, Deike, thank you so much to yourself and to the Sprenger team for helping me today and all of us understand a little bit more about bits in general. It's been such a great experience and I've learned a lot today, especially about the importance of bit and what the actual use of a bit is for. I think it's such a nice reminder what you were able to tell us all. So I'm going to do my absolute best to feel what my horse feels like with this. I'm going to test it out for 2 weeks. And then I'll be sending you an update, and I'll also be updating you guys on how I feel my experience has been with this bit, because as you said, you don't really know until you try it. So I will be giving it a go and then seeing how comfortable Emporio feels, and then hopefully this is going to be the right bit for us. But I would like to thank you anyways for your time. Thank you all so much for joining us on this video. I hope you were able to learn something. I will link all of Sprenger's information down in the description box so you guys can go and check them out and find the perfect bit for your horse as well. There is instructions also that you can provide, that Sprenger provides to fit your bits as well. So if you do feel like there's still some gray areas for you, the information is available on Sprenger. But apart from that, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.